everyone, welcome back to another Magical Girl video. I'm working on a big Sailor Moon project for December, but before I can talk about Sailor Moon, I feel like I need to talk about Sailor V. Now, if you're familiar with Sailor Moon, you'll know that Sailor V is Minako Aino's former persona before she became a Sailor Guardian and took the name Sailor Venus. In real life, Sailor V is kind of a rough draft of what Sailor Moon would become. Using what she learned from Sailor V and her work on Miracle Girls, super great series, definitely check it out, Naoko made the iconic Sailor Moon and tied Minako into both stories. Although the short series has received mixed reviews, I want to cover every chapter with all of you and revisit Minako's solo story. Minako Aino is a first-year middle school student and a total athlete, even if an awfully familiar cat causes her to stumble. She has a best friend named Hikaru, who looks an awful lot like Ami. She's also a hopeless romantic, hoping to give her crush a love letter. However, like Usagi, Minako is not the most intelligent girl. At least she has the excuse of being a great athlete who needs to refuel her energy. Usagi's just lazy. I say that with love. Anyway, the cat who tripped Mina earlier has been observing her, reporting that despite her great athletic ability, she lacks the seriousness he's looking for. He's told by his superior, who we cannot see, that Mina is definitely the one. Cut back to school, Minako is obsessing over her crush and tutor. Although she was unable to give him her love letter, she's more determined than ever to be Higashi's girlfriend. Later that evening, Artemis introduces himself in the worst way possible. Could you not wait for her to put on some clothes? Artemis tells Minako that she's the chosen girl, and hands her a crescent-shaped compact that magically projects the exposition Mina needs to know. Artemis tells her that Mina not only has her own castle, but that she is a pretty guardian, born to fight and look pretty while doing it. She passes out from the overload of information. I love her face here, but eventually wakes up and faces the day. She's so excited to give Higashi her love letter, but Artemis says that she should forget about him, trying to save her from the heartbreak of falling for an older man. As Mina almost walks away in defeat, she realizes that Artemis was actually warning her because Higashi is evil. For the first time, Minako transforms by shouting the phrase "Moon Power Transformation," and I'm living for the obvious blueprint this was for Sailor Moon. The phrase, the pose, the outfit, it's all so good. Using the move Crescent Beam, she kills Higashi before he can kill her. We only see a small glimpse of how horrifying his death is, which obviously traumatizes Minako. Artemis tries to cheer her up, seeing how heartbroken she is over this first battle. Mina returns to the cheerful girl we all know, and gains a new obsession: idols. This was such a fun first chapter, and it was kind of like a messier version of Sailor Moon's origin. I can't wait for the rest of the story. In Chapter 2, Mina is gaming while Artemis berates her for not being feminine enough. Remember when gaming was considered a boy activity? I would like to say we've come a long way, but how you're treated as a woman in the gaming sphere really depends on what genres you play the most. You're not a real gamer, you only play The Sims and Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Oh my god, play a real game! Shut up. Get a job. Go pay taxes. In the Kodansha release, Minako calls Artemis a crossdresser, but in an earlier translation, she calls him a slur. This is terrible and very out of character, but early translations, especially fan translations, are absurdly blunt. I had to share this piece of problematic Sailor Moon history. Minako, canonically, is a self-hating bisexual. Just a fun little headcanon for you. Back to the plot, she then tries to use logic and say Artemis is a girl's name, and he's impressed by her knowledge until he realizes that she learned that from a video game. Bro, let her live! Minako's epic gamer skills catch the attention of Takuro, who can't handle that his high scores have been beaten by a girl. She then transforms into cosplay, which gets an even weirder reaction from the guy. So she becomes Sailor V and kicks the guy in the face for examining her costume way too close. Don't worry, this is only one of 2 chapters I really hate. Most of this is pretty good. Chapter 3 has Mina excited about an idol concert. She steals one of the posters and runs into Umino's rough draft. His name is Amano. After cram school, Mina gets an antenna for her TV so she can watch the concert. I don't remember TVs having antennas. Unfortunately, her dad doesn't get it set up in time, and Mina's mom yells at her to stop obsessing over the TV or she'll end up a failure like her father. Oh, you married him? Surprise, surprise, the broadcast actually brainwashed everyone to be attached to their TVs, and Minako has to stop the decoy idol. Transforming into a police officer, Minako patrols the studio until she finds her target. Turning into Sailor V, she fights off Pandora's minions and uses her compact to reveal the villain's true form before turning her to dust. Yay! The chapter ends with everyone returning to normal and Minako going back to her studies. Regretfully. I don't know about you, but I liked this a lot more than the gamer plot. Hopefully Sailor V keeps up this momentum. Chapter 4 reveals Minako's hatred of the police. She thinks they suck, but she's also doing their job better than them. They've noticed her presence and one absolutely hates her guts, but the other is a mega fan. Cut to the classroom, Amano reveals that a new idol named Pucci Pandora is on the scene. Is there a relation? Pucci Pandora gets the police involved with a comically evil note to Sailor V. When the concert begins, both Sailor V and the police are present for this battle. She quickly melts Pucci Pandora's face and sets her fanboys free with no help from the police. Mina is finding success as a crime fighter, but Artemis reminds her that she's still yet to find her true mission. Okay, tell her then. I feel like you would know. In the next chapter, Minako is now obsessed with an idol group called Dark Guys. Can you tell who the villains are going to be this chapter? Artemis tells her that she's stupid for not noticing the pattern, but she's like, no, they're boys, it's different. It's not different, but the brothers have sisters who are also in their own group. Minako has a whole agency to fight now. The fight isn't very long, but what's cool about this chapter is that it's the first one to acknowledge Sailor Moon. The two girls cross paths as Usagi and Naru are talking about the new Sailor V game. Chapter 6 is the Christmas themed chapter. This is your reminder that I'll have a Princess Christmas video coming out this December. Please watch it, please. Mina is once again late for school, but she stumbles upon two boys bullying a couple of little kids. She quickly handles the situation, but ends up being late for class. Her friend Hikaru starts a conversation about this universe's version of the Super Famicom, or Super Nintendo for us Americans. And Amano brings to their attention a new game called Fighting Girl Luga. I wonder who the villain is in this chapter. The officer from the last chapter, Wakagi Toshio, now has his job on the line because of Sailor V. So we have an extra layer of conflict in the story now. Also, another Usagi and Naru cameo. Love to see them. Rei also makes a cameo. Oh my gosh, I love my girls. Minako does not get the chance to play the game because of her mom, and yet again dodges a bullet because Luga has caused everyone to become violent, and Sailor V has to stop the madness. Luckily, Amano is able to help with his gamer knowledge. Kind of. Sailor V is able to reach Luga, but is now trapped in the game and has to win the digital way. In the process, Minako does some property damage and Toshio gets blamed. Poor guy. Chapter 7 opens with Minako trying to win a Hawaiian vacation for her and her family. On her way to the lottery place, she stumbles upon two men harassing a girl. Sailor V doesn't stand for that kind of behavior, so Mina takes charge and gives the guys her iconic Sailor V kick. Sailor V ends up winning the Hawaii trip, but when Mina and her family actually board the plane, they're sent to Greece, sending the police and the villain of this chapter off her trail. Even with the mix-up, Hibiscus finds a way to fight Sailor V in Greece and loses. Chapter 8 has Mina recording all of her memories of an encounter with a man called Mr. Saito. She's head over heels for this man, and dramatically declares that her prince will rescue her. Throwing herself in harm's way, Mr. Saito does appear, but he accidentally punches her in the face. Even still, she is in love with this mysterious man. In a gang. Yeah, he is a troubled young man, but he has great potential and a good heart. During another fight, Mina does get a kiss in her disguise as her teacher, who also used to be his teacher. Mr. Saito had a crush on his teacher and never said anything until this moment. But she's a married woman, so this scenario might have been for the best. With tears in her eyes, Minako leaves once the fight is over, telling her millionth crush of the week goodbye. We have officially finished Volume 1, and while repetitive, the stories were very entertaining. Mostly. The worst, in my opinion, was probably Chapter 2, and the best was maybe 6? There were some fun stories here. Before we get into Volume 2, let's take a commercial break.
energize your favorite scouts, help them fight the forces of evil, and then meet at Sailor Moon's dream house filled with all the furniture you see here. Sailor Moon dolls with spinning base and Sailor Moon Dream House are each sold separately. You build it yourself. Sailor Moon!
Volume 2 begins with some gorgeous artwork that I need to highlight. Put this on my wall, please. Chapter 9 opens with Mina being me for the first 21 years of my life, complaining that she'll die alone. It's okay, girlie, it gets better. This time, she meets the man of the chapter Usagi style by littering. If you're going to take notes from anyone, let it be her. The villain this time is trying to drain the energy from girls by giving them too much chocolate. I'm uncomfortable. Minako is like 13. Why are we having a weight chapter? Obviously, Sailor V saves the day, but a tuxedo mask-like figure drops candy and weight loss flyers from the sky. She can't even see his face, but she is in love. This continues into the next chapter, and Mina actually gets to know him. This is Kaito Ace, a new television idol. He wants all girls to be pretty, and has developed a candy to help him with that goal. That's weird. Mina does not see the obvious red flags, but Artemis and Hikaru do. Cut to the Dark Agency, who are paying attention to this new idol as well. Ace might not directly be evil, but his following will give him leeway to harm somehow. A new fashion building has been opened, offering cosmetics, clothes, and home decor. Using these girls' societal desire to be beautiful, Fondé turns them against Sailor V. Women hating women, we hate to see it. Minako actually loses confidence in herself and decides to leave the hero work to Ace. But as she changes personas, she's caught. With her true identity being discovered, what will she do now? The book takes a brief detour to give us 3 silly little animal-inspired stories. In the first one, cats are attacking everyone and Sailor V has to defeat them with an attack that stinks horribly. Sure, okay. In the second one, Artemis saves a little black kitten from getting run over. Her name is Luna, and she has the same crescent mark as Usagi's Luna. But wait, that's not a cat. Luna is a small dog. Artemis is mortified. The owner of Luna is a renowned mangaka who lives in a castle. Her assistant asks for Minako's help finishing the next volume, and she even gets paid for her work. Artemis tells her to give it back though. But then it was revealed that Luna is actually an evil person who Sailor V has to defeat. This was a long chapter with lots of turns to it, but I really enjoyed the second story. The third story begins with Hikaru being saved by Sailor V. She and a few other girls are volunteering for the community center, and Sailor V gets roped in. This sends Minako on a charity kick to reap the benefits, which is extremely in character. We love a chaotic good girly. The villain of this chapter takes advantage of her selfishly motivated giving spree, and while she does defeat him, no one can defeat the evil of mosquito bites on a hot summer day. There was only a brief mention of pets in this chapter, so it doesn't fit the mini-theme presented, but it was still a very fun chapter. Now it's the fall season and Minako is excited about sports, but also a guy. His name is Otonaru Maiku, and he's part Russian. He's a frail boy, and does not care for Minako's bubbly personality. She notices that Otonaru is interested in the Olympics, and invites him to track practice. Little does she know that the reason he is so frail is because he has a weak heart. Minako feels awful for not knowing, and visits Otonaru. He lives in a very popular karaoke place, and loves to hear others sing. Otonaru opens up to Minako about his upcoming surgery, his love for hearing others sing, and his newfound fondness for her, even giving Mina a good luck charm. However, not all is well as there is a villain who wants to use music to enslave innocent people. What's new? When Minako invites her class to sing for Otonaru's sake, she also has to defeat Mike Maki as Sailor V. She also wins the race she was training for, and when she goes to tell Otonaru, who had his surgery successfully, she finds out he's getting married. This girl cannot catch a break. Chapter 15 opens with Minako excitedly reading an article about Kaito Ace, who will be starring in a big-budget movie. Good for him. Within the article is a casting call for Ace's love interest, and obviously our Minako has to audition. We finally get a callback to the general knowing Minako's secret, And now she just constantly calls her and begs her to join the police force. Back to the audition, Minako actually gets it, but also gets a disturbing vision. Going with the general to the airport, Mina gets a sense that she isn't alone, and we get a quick glimpse of Ami. Hey girlie! With that, Mina goes to China to begin filming and maybe fighting evil too. Meet Lin Lin, our villain for this chapter. She is extremely jealous of the attention Ace is giving Mina. The last 2 chapters are filled with romantic tension between Ace and Minako, clearer visions of who Sailor V is meant to protect, and an epic battle that ends with Minako realizing who she truly is as a hero, Sailor Venus. When this realization hits, Ace reveals that he is Adonis, someone she knew in her past life. He thought he could have her in the next one, but once again his fate leads to an end without Minako being his love. As he fades away, Minako, who has been spotted by Mako, goes to find the other guardians. Did it feel like I jumped around a lot trying to tell this story? Because honestly, that's how it feels to read Sailor V. It was a very fun extra piece of world building for the Sailor Moon franchise, but it reads like a rough draft of what Sailor Moon became. Sailor V is an important part of Sailor Moon history, being recognized in every adaptation. Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon probably has my favorite version of Sailor V's introduction, but I'm very partial to this version of Sailor Moon. I'll talk more about it in my upcoming Sailor Moon video, but in this adaptation, Minako is an idol, not just a fan. And that adds some interesting conflict. I'm glad Sailor V exists, and while I don't recommend the series on its own, I think it's a nice piece of history for Sailor Moon fans. Thank you to Cinnabon Autumn for being Safi's friend on Patreon. That's the tier where you get a shout out. Please subscribe here for more magical content, and follow me on Instagram as well. I post lots of adorable things. Lastly, troop on Hopelets, stay adorkable. Bye!